Yeah, my name's Tsirigotis. I served as an Australian Regular Army infantry paratrooper for about 22 years. I discharged from the Regular Army last year, which was in 2016, and my transition was relatively smooth. I was fortunate enough to represent my country and my community both in Australia and overseas on both operational and non-operational deployments. I had an excellent career. I feel that the Army was exactly what I needed as a young man, and it encompassed the warrior ethos that I needed. And for the next 22 years, I enjoyed what I was doing, and then I discharged when I thought it was time for me to transition into civilian life. And I think that's what made my transition easier than most, because I chose the time and I chose the job that I wanted to get into, and it was a transition on my terms at the time that I wanted. Unfortunately, that isn't always the case. Some guys and girls that transition from defence go through an extremely difficult and hard time. The Young Veterans Project is an opportunity for people like yourself and myself and our families to share their collective and individual stories, and by doing that, identify the gaps in service and the duplication in service. So I would urge everybody to have a think about being part of this project and thinking about our most vulnerable, those that don't have a voice because they're currently going through some extremely difficult times, whether it be emotional and physical wounds, or they're just not up to putting their hand up and saying, I need help yet. You, me, and others served our country, whether it was in the Army, Air Force or Navy. We did the right thing. Now let's do the right thing by those that don't have a voice, our most vulnerable. This way, we provide local, state and federal government, and also the key stakeholders within the sector, an opportunity to listen to our lived experience and listen to our stories and actually implement change within the sector for the betterment of services within the ex-service community. I urge you to fill in the survey, and if you have served in an allied force, to contribute to the video blog and share your stories as well. Thank you for listening to my story, and I'm hoping to hear your story soon.